Hey guys, in this screencast I'm going to show you how to use the alarms feature of the VMware vCenter server. We have a couple of assumptions for the screencast. The vCenter client should already be connected to the vCenter server. There should be working virtual machines pre-existing in the inventory. The objectives of the screencast is to show you how to create alarms, how to use these alarms, and dealing with alarms when they're set off. So let's begin. Once on the vSphere client, go to the host and clusters. Now choose a VM that already exists in the inventory that you want to set an alarm for. And then click on the Alarms tab. Once in the Alarms tab, click on the Definitions button. Here we'll be able to set an alarm by right-clicking any part of the window and choosing New Alarm. Let's type in an alarm name. I'm going to call it VMware VM CPU usage. It doesn't matter what you want to call it, but it's up to you. Once you've come up with a name for the alarm, make sure in the alarm type choose Monitor for a specific condition, and make sure the Enable this alarm is ticked. Let's move on. Go to Triggers. Here make sure in Conditions it says is above, and a warning type in 25. And for condition length, just leave it as 5 minutes. And alert, you can type in 50. And the condition length could just be 5 minutes. Now let's go to Reporting tab. Here nothing needs to be really changed, so let's move on to the Actions tab. Here we'll be able to add actions to the alarms like power off or stop VM. Press the add button and select the action suspend option here. You can change it to whatever you want, but for this purpose we're just going to do suspend VM. Leave the configuration to just default and change the following action settings to once, and default. Once this is done, press OK. This will just finalize the alarms settings that we've created till now. If everything was done correctly, the new alarm should pop up, and there it is, VM CPU usage. This is what we've just created. The alarm we just created monitors the condition of a VM. So the next thing we need to do is monitor an event. To do this, go to Data Center up top and click on the Alarms tab. This is similar to what we did before, so we just click on Definitions here, and then right click anywhere on the page and then click New Alarm. I'm just going to the bottom to show you where the new alarm will show up. So now we just go New Alarm and type in VM suspend. And then you can leave the description blank and make sure the Enable Alarm is ticked, and choose here, make sure the bottom option is chosen, Monitor for a specific event. Once everything is ticked off correctly, click on the Triggers tab up top. Here we need to press Add. Change the following settings to VM suspended. You just need to scroll through the list and find VM suspended. Once that's done, on the status column, just leave that as alert, as default, and in conditions, click on the advanced button. Here we need to add a trigger. For this, we just press the add button, change the tag so that it shows VM name. In the operator column, just leave it as default, so which is equals 2. And in the values, just type in the virtual machine we set an alarm for. I'm going to type in my current virtual machine. This will be different for you. And then press OK. Then exit the alarms settings by pressing OK. If everything was done correctly, the new alarm should pop up. And there you go, VM suspend. That's the one we just made. The next step what we're going to do now is actually try to trigger these alarms and see and deal with them accordingly. Go to your VMs and templates and choose the VM we had previously made an alarm for. Open up the VM in a console. It doesn't matter what operating system you're running, but I'm currently using Windows XP. Here, try to get the trigger alarms page and the console on the same screen so that we can see side by side if the alarm is actually going to be triggered. To test the alarm, I basically got a script, a CPU busy as I've called it, which basically forces the CPU to go to 100%. And since we've got an alarm with the condition set so that anything above 25% for over 5 minutes, a warning and an alarm should be triggered, and that's what we're going to try to see now. Right here, I'm just going to Task Manager to show you that the CPU usage is basically at 100%. Because we've set the alarm condition to 30 seconds, we just need to wait until the alarm is actually triggered, and it should pop up soon. And there we go. That's the alarm which has just been triggered, and it's actually going to be suspended now. If you look in the recent tasks, you can see that the suspend action is currently taking place. If you want to look at it in a more detailed view, click on it, and then it'll take you to task and events, where it will say when the alarm has actually been triggered. So now that the alarm has been set off, we want to get rid of this alarm so that it won't show up as a red caution sign on our VM. To do this, right click the alarm which has been set off and tick acknowledge alarm. Now the caution sign still doesn't go away, so we have to basically clear it. So right click and then tick clear. There we go. Now we won't have that red caution sign anymore. The final thing we need to do now is remove these alarms. To do this, go back into definitions where we made the alarm, and then right click the alarm we've just created and tick edit settings. We could get rid of the whole thing, or we could just disable it. Right now we're just going to disable it. So tick enable alarm and press OK. And as you can see, there's a little cross icon on top of the alarm. This shows that it's been disabled. We can also remove it full stop here, but we don't want to do that right now. We need to also remove the other alarm that we created. To do this, go to your data center and into your alarms tab and definitions, and then do the same as you did for the other alarm, where you go edit settings and then tick enable this alarm off. This will just make it disabled like the other alarm before. And as you can see, there's another little cross. So on the screencast, I've covered how to create alarms, how to use these alarms by setting conditions and events, and dealing with these alarms when they're set off. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.